Just keep walking, Wendy. This doesn't concern you.
It does now. Come on, girls.
Hey, Wendy, watch the hands.
Okay, Bluey fans, this one is wild. We all know Bluey is packed with hidden details, deeper meanings, and subtle storytelling. But what if I told you that buried within all the fun and laughter, there's a shocking secret about Bandit Heeler? One that might change the way you see him forever. Could Bandit and Wendy, their next-door neighbor, be having an affair? I know, it sounds crazy.
Morning, Wendy.
What's going on? Are you okay?
Bandit and Chili are one of the most beloved TV couples of all time, the kind of relationship we all look up to. And trust me, I don't want this to be true.
Do you believe in fairy tales?
But when you start piecing together the clues, the evidence becomes way too hard to ignore. From awkward tension to questionable interactions, and even how the kids react, Bluey might be hiding one of its biggest secrets right under our noses. Once you see the signs, you can't unsee them. Oh, and just a heads up, like all our videos, this one's made for adult Bluey fans and dives into some mature themes. So, if you're under 18, now's the time to click away. Okay, so let's break it all down, because this one might just blow your mind.
I'm not sure I should be driving in this condition.
What? So we don't get ice cream?
Clue number 1. Bandit always tries way too hard around Wendy. Let's start with something pretty obvious. Bandit is naturally funny, we all know that. But around Wendy, he takes it up a notch, almost like he's trying to impress her. In multiple episodes, Bandit greets Wendy with his signature phrase,
Morning, Wendy.
in an overly charming, exaggerated way. Now sure, this could just be friendly neighbor banter. But if you look at how he acts around her, it's like he's always performing, pushing the comedy to the extreme. And this isn't a one-time thing. He hypes himself up in her presence. He shows off way more than usual. And Wendy's reactions? Let's just say she's not ignoring it. Is Bandit just a charismatic dad having fun? Or is he putting in extra effort for Wendy?
Thanks, Wendy. I paid for him.
Oh, yes. Here's your
Hey.
change.
Okay, Bluey. Take a lick.
Clue number 2. The uncomfortable amount of flirting. Okay, now here's where things get really weird. For a kids show, Bluey actually has a lot of adult humor, and Bandit and Wendy have some of the strangest moments together. Let's talk about Ragdoll. In this episode, Bandit finds himself in an awkward, intimate position with Wendy. While struggling with a leg cramp in the car, Wendy ends up lifting him into his seat using her legs. And Bandit? He's way too comfortable with this. But that's not all. Right before this moment, Bandit literally stares at Wendy's legs in amazement and says,
Look at those quads.
"Excuse me, Bandit. Did we just witness the most obvious flirtation in Bluey history?" Now let's talk about Sheepdog. In this episode, Wendy doesn't just help Bandit groom himself, she physically shaves his hair for him. Like, that's not normal neighbor behavior. And before that, there's a scene where Bandit literally rams his head into Wendy's butt and then grabs her nightgown with his teeth. Let me repeat that. Bandit shoves his face into Wendy's butt and bites her nightgown. I don't know about you, but if a married man did that to my future wife, I'd have some questions. And Wendy? She doesn't even seem mad. Coincidence? Or something more?
Oh, look at your big fluffy coat.
Clue number 3. Wendy acts strange around Chili. One of the biggest red flags in this theory is how Wendy and Chili interact. For being neighbors, they really don't seem that close. In dance mode, Chili dances across the street in front of Wendy, and Wendy gives her a weird, uncomfortable look, like she's judging her. But why? If they were good friends, wouldn't Wendy laugh it off? In Sheepdog, Wendy gives Chili a polite but distant greeting, like she's holding something back. And in Sticky Gecko, there's a moment that suggests that Chili and Wendy haven't seen each other in a long time, which is strange, because they live right next door. If Wendy and Bandit were just friends, why would Chili seem so intimidated by her? Could it be that Chili suspects something?
Drop it! Drop it! Drop it!
Clue number 4. The kids pick up on the tension. Here's where things get even weirder. Kids are way more observant than we give them credit for, and in Postman, we get a subtle but important moment. In this episode, Bluey and Bingo are playing with a paper airplane love letter. At one point, the plane almost lands near Wendy before veering toward Chili instead. Now, this might seem insignificant, but let's think about it. The show's creators love symbolism, and this could easily be a wink to the audience, a hint at some underlying tension between Wendy and Bandit. Could the kids be picking up on something unspoken?
Yeah! Now we can have ice cream!
Clue number 5. Wendy's sudden shift in behavior. In early episodes, Wendy is uptight, distant, and always judging Bandit. But then, something changes. In Ragdoll, she's lifting Bandit into a car and buying ice cream for his kids. In Sheepdog, she's cutting his hair. She starts spending more time with the Heelers, almost like she's suddenly comfortable. What caused this shift? If she was strict and judgmental of Bandit before, what made her warm up to him so much? Could it be that something changed between them?
I'm sorry, Wendy. He doesn't listen to what anyone says.
So, is Bandit having an affair? Now let me repeat, I don't want this to be true. Bandit and Chili are one of the best TV couples ever, and the idea of Bandit betraying Chili is heartbreaking. But the clues are everywhere, and it's hard to ignore, right? Now, maybe this is all just a coincidence. Maybe Bluey is just playing around with adult humor without meaning anything serious. Or maybe, just maybe, there's more happening in the Heeler neighborhood than we ever realized. What do you think? Is Bandit and Wendy's relationship totally innocent, or is Bluey hinting at something deeper? Let us know in the comments. And if you love diving into Bluey's biggest mysteries, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives into the world of Bluey. Because in this show, nothing is as simple as it seems.
Oh, well, what you gonna do?
Get the door, girls. I'll show you what 10 years of Pilates can do.